Okay, welcome to your lecture about hormones. So, anong similarity ng topic ko sa class nyo? Pareho may 4. Joke. Anyway, here are our learning objectives. So, let's start with your hormones. No? Yan. Mga magic yan. Ina-magic ka para mag-grow or mag-whatever. So, we have here again, organ system. So, this is an organism which is made up of various organ system, GI, endocrine, neuro, cardio, pulmo. Malapit na kayo matapos. Congrats. Konti na lang. Okay? Organ systems are made up of various organs. For instance, sa endocrine, di ba? May pancreas, thyroid. Thyroid na endocrine organ na nakakapa mo. Ano pa? Organs are made up of tissues. And then finally, tissues are made up of cells. Okay? Cells are the basic unit of life. Lumabas sa boards. Basic unit of life. Smallest thing na buhay. Ano bang pwedeng ano yan? Twist yung question. Fundamental or smallest unit of life. But pag smallest unit of matter, atoms yung sagot. Ha? Matters anything that occupies space and has mass, solid, liquid, gas sila. Anyway. Pinakamaraming cells sa body, pag dumating ka sa board exam, ano ang, answer the chat box ha. So, pinakamaraming cell type sa body, that would be your most abundant cell type, RBCs, red blood cell. Okay? Meron tayong 30 trillion. Pero yung cells mo sa katawan, 68 trillion. Kasi human cells plus bacteria. Okay? Okay. So, yan yung cells. They communicate with one another. However, if nagka-problem ka, nagka-miscommunication kayo dyan, it can develop bad cells, bad stuff, such as cancer. Okay? So, important ang signaling. Ano pa? So, it's a means of communication. Okay? Hormones natin. Because yung mga cells naman or mga organs natin, hindi bumababa. Si hypothalamus, gusto ko usapin si pituitary, oy, secret ka, pituitary ng ganito, TSH. Hindi naman siya bababa. So, magpapadala lang siya ng message via the primary messenger, which are your hormones. Okay? Then yung iba, bababa somewhere, whatever. Basta via hormones. Okay? So, this is the importance para makasurvive ka. So, may static adaptations an organism makes to a constantly changing environment are in large part accomplished through alterations of the activity and amount of proteins. Tanong is, kailan ka magluluto ng proteins? Kailan ka mag-stop magluto ng proteins? Yung isang form of control nun is via hormones. Introduction lang yan. So these are the steps involved in producing a coordinated response to a particular stimulus. Wala lang yan. Para makasurvive ka, achieve mo yung homeostasis. Balance sa loob mo. Okay. T'Challa. So yan ang cell, smallest unit of life. For instance, sa stress ka, what's the hormone of stressful condition? Secreted during stressful condition, cortisol. Correct. Kasi pag na-stress ka, ikaw ay nagko-cortisol. Joke lang. So cortisol and aldosterone are important. Essential to life. Okay, yung mga secretions ng zona ng ano mo, adrenal cortex mo, essential to life yan. Without them, you cannot survive under stressful conditions. Ang stress, di lang naman emotional, physical. Pwede rin yung nagkasakit, may bacteria somewhere. Yan. So, your body will release cortisol in response to stress to fight off your stressful condition. Kunyari, na-stress si patient. May bababa dyan sa adrenal cortex or cortex. May ano dito, trigger. Ganun ba? Okay, I'll secrete cortisol para may glucose ka sa blood. Diba? Cortisol will promote gluconeogenesis. Para saan yung glucose sa blood? Para mapadala natin kay brain, para makapag-isip ka under stressful conditions, mapadala mo kay liver, mapadala mo kay muscle, para may energy siya. Okay? Yun na naman. Yan. Tinanong sa boards to. Anong effect or anong function ng cortisol? It will promote gluconeogenesis, among other things. This is your adrenal steroidogenesis. Recall lang, cholesterol is a girl. Okay, mnemonic lang to which will enter your mitochondria via the star protein, steroidogenic, acute, regulatory, chu-chu-chu. And then, siya ay na-desmolase siya. So she got pregnant. Nabuntis siya ni 17 alpha male and then ang dala-dala niya 3 boys, triplets. So this is 3-beta-hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase. So sabi niya sa'yo, ikaw yung OB niya. Pero, Doc, CS, ako. So that's how you make your aldosterone here in the zona glomerulosa. Tapos di ka nakinig, sabi niya, hoy, pregnant po. Pero, Doc, pinashut up mo na siya. So that's how you make cortisol here in the zona fasciculata. You can also make cortisol here kasi lahat ng enzymes dyan meron din sa glomerulosa. However, yung aldo mo sa glomerulosa lang. Kasi this enzyme, also known as 18-hydroxylase, is exclusively found in your zona glomerulosa. Okay? Then pinalayas mo na siya. Tapos nanganak na siya, 3 boys, si Dea, si Andro, and testosterone. Then pumunta sa periphery, nag-aromatize sila doon. Andro will become estrone, testo will become 2, di ba? Estradiol. You want to make this more potent, convert mo to DHT via 5-alpha reductase. You can give a drug that will block this, block that, pagdating nyo sa pharma. Okay? Ano pa? Then, 3 plus 17, 20. Kaso mahirap buhay, so next number, 21. Then, 11, 18. That's how you memorize this one. Hormones can be converted. I'd like to end within 2 hours or less. So, hormones can be categorized into group 1 or 2, depending on your solubility and in your polarity properties mo. Okay? Stress yan. Again, magre-release ng hormones to fight off the stressful condition, one of which is your cortisol. May natin pag-usapan group 1 versus 2. Okay, this is an important concept, signal transduction. Ano lang yan? Pass the message. Transduction means conversion of one form of energy into another form of energy. Okay? Here, an extracellular signal activates a membrane receptor if hanggang labas ka lang. Kung hanggang labas ka lang, who will bring your message? The second messengers sa loob. Pass the message. Okay? Ano yan? So, for instance, sino bang gusto mo? Si angiotensin. Since na-mention nyo kanina. Angiotensin. Anong gusto mo? I-10 si Angio. I-vasoconstrict. Hanggang labas lang siya kasi group 2 yan. Anong gusto niya? I-vasoconstrict. Then, i-relay sa mga alipores, sa second messengers, sa effectors, etc. Until masunod or magpaluto ka ng proteins or kung ano mang effect ang gusto mong mangyari. But the prerequisite is, if you're the hormone, you have to sit in your receptor first, in the chair. Kapag di ka umupo, walang kwenta yun. Okay? Hindi mag-a-act. Pag may second messenger system, it can lead to amplification. Okay? That can magnify the response. Why study them? Para makasurvive ka sa pharma. And magets mo mga bagay-bagay. Okay? Because there are drugs that act by regulating signaling pathways. Aspirin will block cyclooxygenase irreversibly. Beta-adrenergic agonist, for instance, salbutamol. Upo sa beta-2. Gagayahin niya yung hormone na si epi mo. Pag umupo siya sa beta-2, luluto ng cyclic AMP, chu-chu-chu, hanggang mag-bronchodilate ka. So, di ka nakinig today sa biochem or fission nyo, kawawa ka naman sa pharma. These are the signaling molecules. Pag nasa endocrine ka, you call it your hormones. If yung molecule na to ay sinisecrete to the bloodstream and will travel at distant sites, you call it hormones. If yung molecule na yon sinicrete ng neuron, tapos sinicrete sa synapse, nagbind sa postsynaptic cell, can be a neuron or muscle, you call it neurotransmitter. If sinicrete naman ng mga T-cell mo, B-cell, etc., anong tawag dun sa signaling molecule? Cytokines. Okay? So, these are the effects of your, sino yan? Mag-gluconio, payat ang arms, kinatay din ng proteins, pero mataba sa gitna. Tapos wala kang inflammation. Which hormone? Ang nire-refer nito? Inhibits bone formation, kaya prone sila sa osteoporosis. This is your cortisol, correct. Kaya pag lagi ka na sa stress, lagi ka may cortisol, pwede ito mangyari sa'yo, ha? So, tataka ba't ang taba ako? Ganun. Pero kakaiba yung katabaan ang tawag dito. Iba ang katabaan ng Cushing versus obesity. Pag Cushing, mataba ka sa gitna. Payat ang arms. Kasi protein degradation dito. Mga amino acids po padala sa liver. Ano pa? Kakatayin din yung taba sa periphery. Then magde-deposit sa gitna. So, may buffalo hump ka, etc. etc. So kung mataba ka, na symmetrical, okay lang yun. Pero kung mataba ka pero payat arms mo, isip-isip ka na. Ha? Baka ang dami mong cortisol. Arachidonic acid pathway, recall lang your prostaglandins. It will promote the following, mediator sa inflammation mo. May vasodilation dyan, etc. etc. So what's your answer here in the chat box? This one, yung nasa taas, which is not an inflammatory response associated with prostaglandin. Answer in the chat box. A, correct. Numbing of pain receptors. Tama. Alin dyan? Di ba prostaglandin for your, ano yan, for inflammation, calor, dolor, functionalesa, etc. So, pag may namamaga, vasodilated ka, para pumunta sila neutrophils, macrophages, tama to, attractive. Phagocytes will phagocytose your debris. Ito, masakit, di ba, pag may namamaga. Hindi yan yung role ni prostaglandin. This one, titiglunok, alamin nyo yung sagot. Baka sa exam, andyan na yan. So, hindi pwedeng spoon feeding all the time. Okay? Mahilig ka na sa spooning, mahilig ka pa spoon feeding. Anyway, if the stimulus is present and yung endocrine gland mo nagsecrete ng hormone, okay, it can bind to its receptor inside or situated here in the cell membrane, depending on the type of hormone. Okay? Pag hanggang labas ka lang, somebody will carry your message. If hanggang loob, ikaw na mismo, kumausap kay DNA. Kung anong gusto mong mangyari. So ito, depende lang sa layo ng biyahe o papadala ng message, yung mechanism of cellular communication. Pag tinapon ka sa blood, that's endocrine. Okay? Sa synapse, that's neurocrine. Pagkatabi mo lang, para dyan lang sa tabi, that's paracrine. Tinapon mo yung something, interleukin-1 for instance, nag-act sa'yo, autocrine. Juxtacrine, tinapon mo sa ka-holding hands mo. Sa sobrang lapit sa'yo, katabi mo talaga. Okay? Take note of this. One. Endocrine signaling. We'll talk about this later. Group 1 versus Group 2. Group 1, non-polar yan. Lumulusot yan ng cell membrane. Uupo yan sa receptors sa loob ng cell. It can be found in the nucleus or in the cytosol. Usually in the nucleus, but there are some group 1 hormones that will sit in the receptors found in your cytosol. Sex hormones, steroids. Yan. Group 2, non-polar ito. Hanggang labas lang ito, but can swim alone in the bloodstream. They don't need a carrier because like the sods like, your blood is polar, just like water, di ba? Polar. Kung sugatan ka, yung dugo mo sumasama sa tubig. Oh. Tapos, group 2 is polar, so kaya niya mag-travel alone, no? In the bloodstream. However, pag nag-travel ka dyan sa bloodstream, pwede kang makain ng pating, patay agad. Kaya short ang half-life. Okay? Ito, nakasakay. Nakasakay yan sa carrier protein, sa transport protein. Pwede albumin, transcortin, depende sa type ng hormone. Since nakasakay ka, hindi ka makakain ng pating doon, ng mga proteases, mahaba half-life mo. Okay? Pero mabagal ka mag-act. These are the hormones that bind to intracellular receptors. Lumulusot yan, group 1. Take note of DATs. Vitamin D, retinoic, thyroid hormone, and sex hormones, or steroid-based. Sila, cortisol, aldo, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, yan. No pa. So that's, take note of this one. It's an amine. It's derived from, pare, true love does not exist to melt. Phenylalanine or tyrosine. It's an amine, pero kasama siya dito sa group 1. Okay. All the rest will utilize second messenger system. So, hanggang labas lang ito. Group 2, polar ito. Take note, if you are not bound to a carrier, kung hormone ka, tapos hindi ka nakasakay sa carrier or transferred protein, you are active. Okay? Yung free hormone, active. Pag nakasakay, inactive. Okay? Sa Cushing nyo, dumadami yung, yan, dami kong cortisol, di ba? And maraming cortisol na hindi nakasakay. Ayun, medyo ingat-ingat. So that's why you check for free T4. Ano pa? Kasi T3, T4 mo, sumasakay yan sa thyroid binding globulin, etc. Group 1 eh. Sasakay yan. Albumin versus transcortin. Mga steroids mo, they prefer transcortin as their transport protein sa blood. Okay? Ito yung taxi nila. Yung iba, sige, sasakay sa albumin. Just like your fatty acids. Free fatty acids, sumasakay sila sa albumin. Mga long chain, eh. Group 1, lumulusot yan. And it can sit here in the receptor, the cytosol. Then taralets, hormone receptor goes to the DNA. To talk to your lola. Lola, paluto naman ng ganito. Anti-inflammatory stuff. Ano pa? Group 2, hanggang labas lang ito. So, somebody should, carry your message. Sa loob. Diyan papasok sa second messenger system. Okay. Calcium, IP3. Mamaya na to. So this is your cell membrane. What's the most abundant component of your cell membrane? In the chat box. Most abundant. The more you make me wait, the harder your exam questions for next. Sa topic ko sa hormones. Phospholipids. Phospholipids. Kala nyo phospholipids. Most abundant component of your cell membrane are your proteins. Okay? Proteins. Anyways, di ba? May fluid mosaic model. Ang dami. Tagtag sila ng proteins doon. Unless, sphingomyelin. Ang sphingomyelin mas maraming lipids compared sa protein. Yung cell membrane nila. So, this is your lipid bilayer. Tinanggal na yung mga proteins. Kaya akala nyo, puro phospholipid yung top 1. Basa-basa kasi ng Harper's. Binanggit niya doon. Ano yung most abundant component? Harper's ba o Guyton? I forgot. You have your outer leaflet. Outer leaflet, major component would be your phosphatidylcholine, also known as lecithin. Outer leaflet. Sa loob, inner leaflet, that would be your phosphatidylserine and ethanolamine. May isa pa. Alamin nyo na lang. Sa loob. Pag top 1, meron pa sa boards, ang top 1 dyan, phosphatidylcholine. Sa phospholipids, eh. Okay, cell membrane is selective. That's why group 2 cannot enter. Okay. Ang pinapapasok lang niya, non-polar, uncharged, and small stuff. Like your, jute lang. Anyway, so this is the fluid mosaic model of your cell membrane. Dami niyang proteins. Proteins yung top 1 dyan, ha? Unless sphingomyelin ka. Signal generation. So this is the information pathway. Information flows from the gene to the primary transcript to mRNA to protein. Hormones can affect any of the steps involved and can affect the rates of processing, degradation, or modification of the various products. Di ba nagluluto ka ng protein here? Tapos tayo central dogma. Some hormones can hasten or activate this one. Others can deactivate this. Okay? Depende sa gusto ni hormone. So it's a means of control. Okay? Sino to? Group blank. Lumulusot yan. Uupo sa cytosolic receptor. This is group 1 or 2? 1. Very good. Okay, so the receptors are your chairs. Analogy lang, ah. And for your hormone to act, the hormones should sit on the couch. Okay? Sit on the couch. Then may downstream signaling cascade mechanism dyan. Okay? Yun. Whether group 1 or group 2 ka, for you to act, kailangan umupo ka sa trono mo. Pagdating nyo sa pharma, ganun din. Yung mga drugs, they will mimic some hormones. Ang prerequisite niyan, it should bind to its receptor first. Signal for group 1 hormones will be your ligand receptor complex. So, si group 1, lumusot na. It will bind to the receptor inside the cell. Then, tara, let's talk to Lola. Ano sabi ni Aldo? Lola, luto mo ko ng something para ma-absorb, ma-reabsorb si sodium from the ihi, pabalik sa blood. Ano yung something na yun? Ano yung something na yun? ENaC or other pumps? Fetal sodium channel or whatever. Sagutin nyo na lang sa exam. Okay. So that's group 1. So anong etchos nito? The lipophilic group 1 hormones diffuse through the cell membrane of all cells but only encounter their specific high affinity intracellular receptors in target cells. These receptors can be located in the cytosol or in the nucleus. Okay, the hormone receptor complex first undergoes an activation reaction as shown here, and then receptor activation occurs by at least 2 mechanisms. Pag glucocorticoid ka, it will diffuse across the plasma membrane and encounter the cognate receptor in the cytosol of target cells. Ligand receptor binding results in a conformational change in the receptor, leading to the dissociation of heat shock protein 90. This step is necessary for subsequent nuclear localization of the glucocorticoid receptor. This receptor also contains a nuclear localization sequence that is now free to assist in the translocation from cytosol to nucleus. The activated receptor moves into the nucleus and binds with high affinity to a specific DNA sequence called the hormone response element. In the case of glucocorticoid, that will be your glucocorticoid response element. When you say cognate, it refers to 2 biomolecules that typically interact. Perfect match sila. Pamomol, perfect fit. So wala silang naintindihan. Ano daw? So si glucocorticoid, group 1, lulusot yan. It will sit in its receptor found in the cytosol. However, yung chair niya, nakapadlock kay HSP90 or kay heat shock protein. Now, if glucocorticoid sits here, goodbye HSP. Bye HSP. So, loyal kasi yung upuan. Isa lang. Pwede. One at a time. Unlike yung ex mo. Pinagsabay kayo, di ba? Anyway. Ay, bad yun guys. Pag yung pagsabay-sabayin. Dapat konti lang. 2 at a time. Wag kayo sabay. Magastos. So, nakakapagod. Anyway. So, upo ka dyan sa chair. And then yung padlock, mabibitawan. Okay? Then si hormone with chair na, tara let's talk to Lola. Uupo ako sa, kahit saan ba? Sa DNA. Siyempre upo ka sa trono. Sa specific response element mo. Okay? When you say hormone response element, elemento ng DNA na kapag inupuan ng hormone with receptor, magre-respond. Okay? Magluluto ng kung ano-anong gusto mong protein. Okay? So once glucocorticoid with receptor sits here in the GRE, samahan mo pa ng best friend. Okay? Budburan mo pa ng co-activator. Co-activator, yung green. Para bumilis yung transcription. For you to make protein. Kung ano man gustong protein ni gluconeo. Kung ano man gustong protein ni, sabi ko, glucocorticoid. For instance, enzymes for gluconeogenesis, enzymes for proteolysis, mga ganyan-ganyan. Whereas, si retinoic acid and thyroid, ganun ulit. Group 1, lulusot yan. However, the chairs for these hormones are already nakaset up na. Nasa nucleus na. Nakapwesto na rin sa response element pero nakapadlock pa rin. Okay? May co-repressor siya. Now, once the hormone sits here, goodbye co-repressor, and then budburan mo ng co-activator, then luto ka na ng kung ano mang gusto ni thyroid hormone mo or retinoic acid. Ganun lang siya. Okay? Kwento ko na ba si thyroid? So, thyroid hormones and retinoic acid directly enter the nucleus where their cognate heterodimeric receptors are already bound to the appropriate response element with an associated transcription co-repressor complex. Binding of hormone occurs, which again induces conformational changes in the receptor, leading to dissociation of the co-repressor complex from the receptor, thereby allowing an activator complex consisting of TR, thyroid hormone with thyroid hormone receptor element, and co-activator to assemble. The gene is then actively transcribed. Daming ganache. Daming hanash. So, yun. Just take note, ha? Pareho sila nakapadlock, pero ito nakapadlock sa cytosol, ito nakapadlock and nakapwesto na sa nucleus, sa DNA. Pag umupo, talsik ang core pressure. Okay? And then, budbura mo ng co-activator. That's how you cook whatever proteins na gusto ni thyroid hormone mo. Pag thyroid hormone, ano ba gusto niya ang mangyari? Tataas yung BMR mo, etc. etc. Yun lang siya.
Glucocorticoid binding.
Can you hear? Can you hear the sound of this one? Okay.
Yes.
Dok, nawawala po ata if nagpa-play na po siya.
Okay. So, ganyan ang glucocorticoid signaling. At siya tinawag na glucocorticoid. Kasi, pinapakialaman niya ang glucose metabolism. Yung isa naman, mineralo, di ba? Sila Aldo. Kasi pinapakialaman niya yung minerals. Sodium mo, potassium mo, etc. etc. Okay. Let's resume.
Glucocorticoid is
Now, yung hormone response element, may kanya-kanyang consensus sequences yan. Depende sa type ng hormone. Hindi ko na itatanong. Okay. Saan part ni Lola ka uupo? Tawag doon hormone response element. Elemento sa DNA, na kapag inupuan ng hormone receptor, magre-respond siya. Okay. Magluluto ng kung ano ng protein. Okay. So again, nulit lang. So ganyan din mechanism ng mga glucocorticoid mimics. Okay? Pagdating nyo sa pharma. Papasok sa cell membrane, lusot siya, upo sa glucocorticoid receptor na nasa cytosol, whereas pag thyroid hormone, nasa nucleus ha. Goodbye heat shock protein, then tara let's, hormone receptor, upo tayo sa GRE, budbura mo pa ng best friend or co-activator, then luto ka na ng protein, Lola. Okay? With thyroid, ulit-ulit na lang. Anyway, RXR, nabanggit ko ba si RXR? Retinoid X receptor. Anyway, yan. So, si thyroid receptor mo, yung upuan, nakapwesto na kay Lola, kaso may co-repressor. Once the hormone sits there, goodbye co-repressor, then budbura mo ng best friend, co-activators. So they can also act at any step of the information pathway. Hanggang makaluto ka ng proteins, so that's your transcription and translation. Kasi you don't have to cook proteins all the time because it's quite expensive. Kita nyo na sa Central Dogma kung magkano yan, di ba? Transcription, translation, magastos ka ng ATP, GTP. Okay? Group 2, hanggang labas lang ito, polar ito, hydrophilic ito, ano pang synonyms niyan? Sarami. Hanggang labas lang sila. So there should be second messengers to relay, okay? Relay the signal, the message. Primary messenger mo, hormones, ha? Yan. So ito, ano to, relationship sa endocrine. Recall lang. Si lola mo, hypothalamic hormones, mga releasing hormones sila. Mama mo, anterior pituitary. Then the endocrine organs, yun, release ng daughter cells. Some lolas are masama or inhibitory such as somatostatin and dopamine. Si dopamine, baliktad kay prolactin siya. Evil stepmom ni prolactin. So it's either happy ka, ma-dopamine ka, pero flat-chested. Or, konti ang dopamine mo, di happy, pero malaki ang prolactin. Okay? It's just a mnemonic. What's your answer here? Answer. In the chat box. Saan dyan ang hindi galing kay anterior pituitary? Correct. Oxytocin. Oxytocin is secreted by or synthesized in the hypothalamus. Diba? And what? Stored in the posterior pituitary. Okay? Sinong cells sa hypothalamus ang gumagawa niyan? Oxytocin, paraventricular nuclei of hypothalamus, ADH, supraoptic. Ano ang S? Anong nucleus yun sa hypothalamus? O balikan nyo na lang. O supraoptic nga or whatever. Anyway, somatotropin, that's growth hormone, galing kay pituitary. Okay. Next. Sino yung mama ni T3, T4? What's your answer? Mama ni T3, T4. Regulates the secretion. TSH. Okay, correct. Let's talk about the receptors. You have here first and foremost, kasi pinakamarami sila, G-protein coupled receptors. So these are chairs, upuan na nakakouple sa G-protein. Okay? And there are lots of hormones that will utilize this one to sit in this type of chair. Okay? Marami sila. Tatanong ko to, nuclear receptors. Konti lang eh. Yan. So these are the types of chairs. You have 4 major types of plasma membrane receptors defined by intracellular signaling pathways that they use. You have here, upuan na kapag inupuan mo, ito, chair wherein if you sit in that chair, an ion channel will open or close. Meron ding upuan na kapag ginamit mo, umupo ka, kunyari, ikaw si hormone, umupo ka dun sa receptor na to, aarangkada ang G-protein. Meron din namang upuan na kapag inupuan mo, biglang ipupukpok ka, phosphorylate ka. Okay? Phosphorylate na yung receptor. Etc. etc. Okay? Ayan. Recall lang to. Group 2 hormones. So, hormone sits in the GPCR, hepta, 7. 7 alpha helical structure siya. If the hormone sits here, ano mangyari? Activate si G-protein, G-alpha, magiging GTP ang nandun. Saan na? And then, active na si G-alpha, magtatapik na ng mga enzymes. Can be adenylyl cyclase, guanylyl cyclase, depende kung sino kasing hormone mo. Ano pang important dito? Ito yung receptor ha, ito yung G-protein. Kaya nga, couple, G-protein coupled receptor. Pag inupuan mo yung trono, arangkada si G-protein. G-alpha that has GDP Ang GDP will be exchanged to GTP. Then lilipad si G-alpha, tatapagin ng effector. Luto ka na ng second messenger. Cyclic AMP, cyclic GMP, IP3, DAG, depende kung sino ang tinapik mo. So when you sit in the chair, there will be conformational changes. Yan tumabingi yung mga chuchuchu. Heptahelical ang GPCR ha? Heptahelical. 7. So you have here 4 major classes or families of G proteins, GS, GI, GQ, G12, marami pa. Okay? At least 16 different subunits ng alpha. So yun, hanggang labas ka lang. So susugo mo yung mga alipores, second messenger, to relay your message. Upo si hormone, yung G protein mo ma-activate, naging GTP na yan, G-alpha, tapik ng effector, and then magluluto sa messenger yan that can stimulate opening or closing of channels or tapikin yung mga kinase. Okay? Take note of this one. Pinakamarami yan, so matatanong yan. Definitely. GPCRs. Okay? Now, so, for instance, umupo si hormone, na-activate si G-alpha, alpha. Then, adenyl cyclase yung effector here. Adenyl cyclase, letter C. Magluluto yan ng letter C din. Okay? Cyclic AMP. Letter P yung dulo, letter P rin yung next ng tatapikin. Cyclic AMP will bind to protein kinase, okay, A, at the catalytic. At the regulatory site, tandaan na, CAMP will bind at the regulatory site of your pKa, then yung catalytic site ang phosphorylate ng downstream proteins. Ganyan ang GPCR mo, okay? Tandaan, saan nagbind si CAMP? Sa R po, regulatory subunit ni pKa. pKa, it's a kinase, so it will phosphorylate stuff. Okay? Hanggang masunod yung gusto niya. Yun lang naman. Hindi laging magpapaluto ng CAMP, ha? Ito, mag-i-inhibit. Yan. Si GQ naman, si alpha Q, asan si alpha Q? Iba ang pinapaluto niyang second messenger. Those are your IP3 and DAG. So marami kang second messengers, therefore it can lead to amplification, mas mabilis marerelay yung message mo, unlike pag group 1. That's why the drug of choice for anaphylaxis is, what's your answer? Drug of choice for anaphylaxis. Nangyari, classmate mo, kumain ng mani, allergic pala siya. Nag-hypotension siya, nag-rashes, di makahinga. Oh. Parang may lump dito sa lalamunan, yung pala nag-constrict na yan. Epinephrine, which is a group 2 hormone. Okay? Group 2. So, may second messenger yan. Cyclic AMP, papabilis. You also need your steroid, no? Hydrocort, for instance, sa anaphylaxis to subside yung inflammation. Pero that's not the drug of choice. Kasi yung, alam mo naman, yung steroids mo, glucocorticoid mo, mabagal. No? Group 1 eh. Lulusot siya, uupo, then kakausapin si Lola. Lola, paluto ng gantong proteins. Matagal yun. So, drug of choice mo, epi. These are the second messengers. There are hormones that will cook this one. Pwede rin namang inhibit cyclic AMP. Okay? So, different peptide hormones can either stimulate, kaya may S or inhibit, letter I, the production of CAMP from adenyl cyclase through the action of G proteins. Okay? G proteins are encoded by 10 different genes. Ayan. Binding of hormone to RS or RI will result in blah, blah, blah. Important dito ay si clinical application ng cholera and pertussis. So you have here, alpha S. Yung alpha subunit ng G protein mo, may intrinsic GTPase activity. Okay? Pag tapos na magtrabaho to, kailangan mong umuwi sa mga kapatid mo. Okay? So this enzyme will cleave, it will catalyze the conversion of GTP to GDP. Tango to daddy. Okay? Para makauwi ka. Si alpha lang naman nagtatrabaho, di ba? Si beta gamma, yung mga kapatid niya, andun lang, naiwan. Ito yung pupunta sa adenyl cyclase, papaluto ng cyclic AMP. Kunyari, ikaw to, taga QC ka. After mo mag-work sa Makati, uwi ka na. Balik kami mga kapatid mo sa bahay. Okay? Yan. Ang trabaho niyan. Okay, titiglunok to. Ngayon, kapag na-cholera ka, nag-ingest ka ng sandamakmak na Vibrio cholera from raw shellfish, contaminated water, ang cholera ay ayaw ng acidic. Kapag ibig sabihin kapag may cholera ka, ang dami mong na-ingest. Kasi na-survive nila yung stomach eh. Marami kang na-ingest. Kaya naka-reach sila sa intestine. Anyway, so si cholera toxin will catalyze ADP ribosylation of alpha subunit. Ganun din si pertussis, ADP ribosylation din ng alpha. Pero this one, si cholera, alpha S ang nira-ribosylate. Si pertussis, alpha I. O ano ngayon? If you ribosylate alpha S, kunyari ikaw to, nagtrabaho ka sa Makati, after ng shift mo, uwi ka na, makipagbalik ka kay beta gamma. Na cholera ka. Na-ribosylate, dinikita ng ADP na may ribose. Ikaw, si alpha S, hindi ka makakauwi sa kapatid mo. Nagtatrabaho ka lang sa Makati forever, you are irreversibly activated. So, luto ka ng luto ng cyclic AMP, etc. Okay? Ayaw makipagbalikan. Forever single. Alpha stimulatory na ADP ribosylate, so hindi ka makauwi. Si pertussis naman, syempre, may alpha inhibitory tayo that needs to work rin. Ito yung na ADP ribosylate sa pertussis. ADP ribosylate. O ano ngayon? Si alpha I, kahit paano, kailangan mag-work. Kailangan, nasa bahay siya along with the siblings. Uy, mag-work ka naman sa Makati para kumalma tong chuchuchu. Na ADP ribosylate mo. Si alpha I, ayaw na umalis ng bahay. Andun lang siya sa mga kapatid niya. Okay? So, hindi nakaka-work si alpha I. Unopposed activity ni alpha S. Ganun siya. Si pertussis, yung alpha inhibitory, ayaw makipaghiwalay sa mga kapatid. So, di siya nag-work. Di niya ma-inhibit si alpha stimulatory. So, go ng go. Tandaan ang mechanism. Again, cholera and pertussis toxins catalyze the ADP ribosylation of alpha S and alpha I subunits respectively. O tapos, and then, in the case of alpha S, this modification disrupts the intrinsic GTPase activity, thus cannot reassociate. Si alpha S hindi makikipagbalikan sa mga kapatid. Nasa Makati lang siya forever. Cannot reassociate with beta gamma subunits and is therefore irreversibly activated. ADP ribosylation naman of alpha I prevents the dissociation of alpha I from beta gamma. Ito, kung isa workaholic, ito batugan, ayaw umalis ng bahay sa mga kapatid lang niya. ADP ribosylation of alpha I 2 prevents the dissociation of alpha I from beta gamma, and free alpha I cannot be formed. Alpha S activity in such cells is therefore unopposed. Okay? Ito yung kailangan mong gawin. G-alpha, naging GTP yung kasama, then nagpaluto ng second messenger, which is your cyclic AMP. Pag tapos ng trabaho mo, balik ka doon sa mga kapatid mo. Okay? Yung GTP, dapat maging GDP ulit, then bumalik ka kay beta gamma. Hindi mo magagawa yun kapag na-ADP ribosylate ka ng cholera toxin. Ano? ADP ribose, PAC. Si alpha S ang in-ADP ribosylate, hindi si beta gamma, ha? So what if na ADP ribosylate yan, forever na siyang mag-work, luto ng luto ng cyclic AMP. Ayaw niya umuwi doon sa mga kapatid niya. Ano ngayon, ang dami mo cyclic AMP. O, pag marami ka cyclic AMP, edi tuloy-tuloy yung downstream sequence of events. Okay? O, i-stimulate na yung CFTR channel to excrete chloride out. Sasamahan ni sodium, where sodium goes, water follows, you'll have watery diarrhea. Okay? The question is, pag nag-resit or whatever kayo sa exam, paano kapag may cystic fibrosis, si patient mo, yung malalapot yung secretions, lapot ng plema, etc., etc. Mutated yung CFTR gene. So, syempre, hindi nag-work yung CFTR channel. Ano mangyayari pag nagka-cholera si pasyente? A, malala ang cholera niya. B, medyo immune siya from cholera. Ganun, ha? Sasagutin. Makakalabas ba si chloride pag mutated to? Oo. Yun lang, makasurvive ba niya yung cholera? Ganun. 4 minutes. Ako na magdi-discuss. Bagal nito eh. So, si cholera, dumapo sa intestine mo. Hanggang labas lang siya, oh. Kita nyo, hanggang labas lang siya. Patong lang sa intestinal mucosa mo. Kaya don't stop your defecation pag nagtatai ka dyan. Para ma-flush out. Pag nagloperamide ka, hindi ka pupupo, andyan pa rin si Vibrio mo. Okay? So, si Vibrio, nagsigit ng cholera toxin, may AB subunits, enterotoxin, ina-affect yung enterocytes, didikit sa GM1 ganglioside, and then, i-cleave siya ng protease. Pakinggan mo na. May voice rest ako.
Peptide is then released from A2 and the rest of the complex by a reduction.
Dok, nawalan po ng sound.
Functions in the following way. An inactive G protein resides in
Okay. For a while. Portion of screen shares. Pag may something, message lang sa chat box. Bawal boses.
Complex made up of alpha, beta, and gamma subunits. The inactive alpha subunit carries a GDP molecule. When a hormone activates an appropriate receptor, the activated receptor can activate the G protein, allowing it to release GDP and take up GTP. The alpha subunit separates from the beta and gamma subunits. The activated alpha subunit can bind to and activate adenylate cyclase. Activated adenylate cyclase converts ATP to cyclic AMP. The G protein alpha subunit has a GTPase activity and soon cleaves GTP to form GDP, thereby inactivating itself and adenylate cyclase. The G protein complex reforms, and only a small amount of cyclic AMP has been made. The A1 peptide of cholera toxin is an enzyme that uses a molecule of NAD+, which is made up of a nicotinamide group, a ribose sugar, and an ADP molecule, and adds the ADP ribose to the G protein alpha subunit. This is an ADP ribosylation reaction, and it prevents the G protein from cleaving GTP into GDP and inorganic phosphate. Adenylate cyclase remains activated for a long period, increasing the levels of cyclic AMP tremendously. Elevated levels of cyclic AMP stimulate a host enzyme called protein kinase A. The catalytic subunits of the enzyme activate various ion transport channels, including one called CFTR, which stands for Cystic Fibrosis Transmembrane Conductance Regulator. CFTR exports chloride ions. As chloride and other ions leave the cell, water leaves as well, in an attempt to equilibrate the osmolarity. Ultimately, the bloodstream provides the water, chloride, and other ions that enter the intestinal lumen. The influx of fluid results in diarrhea. Although devastating to the human, diarrhea benefits the bacterium, in large part by helping disseminate the species in the environment.
So, treatment, you lost some ions, you replenish it, ORS, okay? And Doc, may bacteria, dapat mo antibiotic. Pwede pag severe. Pag severe ka na, ha? Otherwise, hydrate mo lang pag mild. Ano pa? Ito naman, si pertussis, yung in-ADP ribosylate niya, yung alpha-I. Si alpha-I, napadlock tuloy sa bahay. So, ayaw mag-work. Unopposed na naman si alpha-S. Okay? Walang pampatay, wala si GI, so lagi naka-on here. This is Bordetella pertussis. Pagdating niya sa pharma, you're gonna study anong drug of choice dyan. Bordetella zit. Bordetella zit. Zit. Macrolides. That's how you memorize things. Sometimes it's in how you pronounce. Okay? Eto, hindi yan mumu. Sa kakaubo lang nila, tapos nasuka pa. and nagputukan yung mga subconjunctival vessels. Take note of pertussis. Mukhang ito yung matatanong sa resi. ADP ribosylate ang GI. So, hindi mo na pa-shut up si adenylyl cyclase. Dami mong camp, which will lead to impaired phagocytosis. So, ang tagal ng buhay ng pertussis mo. Okay? Kaya nga, di ba may other name yan? 100-day cough ba? O 200-day? Alamin nyo sa recipe. And ang whooping cough, you have to simulate it sa recit na next week. Paano yung whoop? Demonstrate, okay? Sino man yung ma-assign dyan, you have to demonstrate. How? Nasaan yung whoop? Inspiratory whoop ba? Expiratory? May mga phases pa yan, catarrhal, convalescent, pero nice to know na yun. Sa pedia nyo aralin yun.
Whooping cough. It's a bacterial infection that's risen to epidemic levels in some parts of the U.S. In adults, the symptoms can be mild, but if the infection is spread to a baby who hasn't yet received a full course of vaccinations, whooping cough can be very serious. Here's more on how to handle this disease.
Are you being shy?
21-month-old Pedro Escueda's symptoms started out like those of a typical cold.
He had a little runny nose and started having a little cough.
But over the next 4 to 5 days, Pedro's mom, Chelsea, says the cough got much worse.
It was nothing I've ever heard before. He was coughing and doing the whoop. He'd vomit.
And he couldn't catch his breath. When they took Pedro to the doctor, the coughing had subsided, so they figured maybe it was just a cold or some other infection. But Chelsea knew there was something else wrong. So the next time Pedro had a coughing fit, her husband got it on video. A nurse practitioner saw it and diagnosed it right away.
And she saw it, she goes, that's pertussis.
Whooping cough is also known as pertussis. It's caused by a bacterial infection that is spread from one person with whooping cough to another person.
What is he doing?
Dr. Thomas Boyce says whooping cough is particularly tough on kids younger than Pedro, who haven't had the full course of vaccinations given at 2, 4, and 6 months.
They're particularly susceptible to getting infection, and because of their small airway, they're particularly susceptible to having very severe disease.
You see, the infection happens in the airway or trachea. The pertussis bacteria produce toxins that irritate and inflame the airway. This causes the severe, repeated cough that lasts for months.
They call it the 100-day cough.
Pedro and his entire family took antibiotics to treat the infection and prevent further spread. Now he's back to health after months of illness. Dr. Boyce says babies usually get whooping cough from adults who have a mild infection. He says that's why it's important for adults to get booster vaccinations every 10 years. Ask your doctor for the tetanus diphtheria shot that also includes a pertussis booster. For Medical Edge, I'm Vivian Williams.
Okay, simulate next week.
Whooping.
So what's your answer here? A or B? Nasaan si cholera? A or B? Cholera toxin will ADP ribosylate, letter A, correct? So this one, GI ang in ADP ribosylate, letter B, si pertussis. Both of which will lead to, elevated levels of cyclic AMP. Letter P yung dulo, activates yung protein kinase A. Ito, will simulate CFTR sa cholera. Pag bacterial infection, tulad ni pertussis, give antibiotics. Diphtheria. Bordetella, zit. Ay, Bordetella, zit. Pag viral, pag viral, huwag ka mag-antibiotic. Okay? Ubot siya po, nag-antibiotics ka agad. Sure ka ba na bacteria ang cause ng urti mo? Unless may, nag-superimpose na secondary bacterial infection. Next. Okay, important concept. Depolarization. So some hormones, when they sit in the receptor, it can lead to opening or closing of ion channels. Then yung ion channels, pag pinasukan ka ng positive, nagiging depolarized ka. Okay? Depolarization. Yun lang yun. So hindi laging cyclic AMP. Kapaluto sa second messenger. Yung iba, magpapabukas or sara ng channels. Ha? Gets nyo ba yan? Ang mga depolarization, hyperpolarization, sure ba? Okay, this is your cell. Oh, may mga channel dyan, no? Sodium channel, potassium, calcium, depende. If umupo si hormone and bumukas ang sodium channel, nasa si sodium? Extracellular or intracellular? Majority ng sodium mo ay extracellular. So si sodium, positive. Di pinasukan ka ng positive. Initially ba, ano bang charge ng cell natin? Relatively negative compared sa labas, di ba? Relatively negative because of that sodium potassium ATPase pump. Try na 2 kin, 3 sodium out, 2 potassium in. So lugi ka. Tatlong positive lumabas, dalawa lang yung pumasok sa positive na pumasok. So relatively negative ka, ha? Anyway, so may pole. Ayan, no? Positive pole, negative pole. Polarized ka. Okay? Now, if si sodium channel bumukas, pumasok ang sodium, naging positive ka sa loob, just like outside. Wala ka ng pole. Ang tawag doon, depolarized. Depolarized. Okay? So anything or for whatever reason, naging mas positive ka sa loob, ang tawag doon, depolarization. Kunyari naman, si calcium gates ang bumukas. Then calcium pumasok. Positive pa rin yun eh. Oh. Na-depolarize ka na naman. Depolarized. Okay? Now, si potassium. Kunyari, may hormone na nung pag-upo ni hormone, bumukas ang potassium channel. K. Nasa si potassium? Intracellular, extracellular? Potassium. Intra, extra. Chat box. Intracellular. Most abundant yan, di ba? Ng intracellular cation. Pag bumukas to, since mas maraming potassium sa loob compared sa labas, ang tendency ni potassium lalabas. Okay? Now, if you open potassium channel, na-depolarize ka, hyper. Nilabasan ka ng something na positive. Nilabasan ka ng something na positive. E di relatively negative ka na naman sa loob. Na hyper-polarize ka. Ayan, no? Grabe yung polo, positive, negative. Ganun lang. Ayan. Important yan, concept na yan sa pharma. Okay, some hormones, pag umupo, bubukas yung channel. Yung iba naman, sasara. Si GABA, for instance, pero neurotransmitter yun eh. Si GABA mo, pag umupo si GABA sa receptor niya, kunyari GABA A, umupo siya sa trono, pak. Ang trabaho nun, pag nangyari yun, chloride channel will open. Tapos si chloride papasok. O ngayon, pinasukan ka ng negative. Ano yan? Depolarization or hyper? Pinasukan ka ng negative. Hyperpolarization. Inhibitory yan. Okay? So, ganun. Basta depolarization, mas positive ka sa loob. By whatever means. Ano yan? So, some hormones will activate GI, leading to lower levels of CAMP. Okay? 30 seconds.
A hormone binds a receptor, activating a G protein. The G protein's alpha subunit binds GTP and dissociates. It then binds adenylate cyclase and activates it. Active adenylate cyclase catalyzes the conversion of ATP to CAMP and pyrophosphate. CAMP activates other molecules, such as protein kinase A, by binding their regulatory subunits.
Okay, so yan si GPCR. Let's move on na. Hindi pa rin nakaka-move on yung slides ko. Alamin na yan. Cyclic AMP, protein kinase A, when you say kinase, it will phosphorylate certain stuff. Okay? Kinase eh. And all good things mag-end then. Therefore, cyclic AMP should be degraded or inactivated by a phosphodiesterase. Okay? Phosphodiesterase to terminate its action. Yeah. Parang si phosphodiesterase paper shredder. Anyway, again, si cyclic AMP nag-bind sa regulatory subunit ni protein kinase A. Pag nangyari yon, protein kinase A, yung catalytic subunit niya yung aariba. Mag-work. Next, CRE. Ano si CRE? Okay. So, pag cyclic AMP na-activate, will activate protein kinase A. Then, kinase will phosphorylate CREB into CREB na may phosphate, malamang. Tapos kapag may CREB na may phosphate na, pwede na yan umupo sa response element niya, magpaluto ng kung anong gusto niyang protein. Okay? CREB stands for Camp Response Element Binding Protein. Na hindi ko tatanong. Okay, which enzyme degrades CAMP? Your answer should be phosphodiesterase. Paper shredder. So CAMP will be converted to 5' AMP. Some drugs can inhibit that. Some substances can inhibit phosphodiesterase. For instance, si caffeine mo sa kape. Okay? They will block phosphodiesterase. So prolonged ang buhay ni CAMP. Yan. So anong mangyayari pag nakaka-caffeine ka? Taas yung CAMP mo sa skeletal muscle and adipose. It will lead to lipolysis via the activation of hormone-sensitive lipase. So papayat ka. If brood ha, brood. Bara ako. Basta pure na kape lang, walang creamer, walang sugar. Okay? Huwag ka naman sugar sa kape. Kung gusto mo yung lipolytic effect. Anyway, sino tayo? Aside from phosphodiesterase, how will you halt CAMP's effect? You can also tap the help of phosphatase. PAC. Phosphatase is an enzyme that removes phosphate to terminate certain actions dyan. Ha? Important ang phosphorylation, dephosphorylation because it's a form of control. Yung enzymes mo during well-fed conditions, well-fed, kinain mo na yung Big Mac, ano itsura nila? Dephosphorylated for it to be active. Okay? Tulad ni glycogen synthase. Maraming tanong sa boards yan dati. Sandamakmak na enzymes yung tinanong. Tapos anong active form? Phosphorylated o dephosphorylated? Ganun. Si glycogen synthase, glycogenesis, kailan mo gusto gumawa ng glycogen? Pag well-fed ka. Kinain mo ng Big Mac? Opo. So anong nangyari sa enzyme? Dephosphorylated for it to be active. Pag fasting ka, taghirap, anong gusto mong gawin? Glycogenolysis, gluconeo. Kinain mo na yung Big Mac, fasting? Hindi pa po. So ano yung tsura ng enzymes mo dyan? Phosphorylated pa for it to be active. It applies in carb metab, lipid metab, yung mnemonic na yan. Ha? Anyway. Cyclic GMP is another second messenger. It's made from GTP by the enzyme guanylyl cyclase. Kanina, adenylyl cyclase. Kay CAMP, eto guanylyl cyclase. So ito exception sa group 2 hormones. Di ba sabi ko, group 2 hanggang labas lang ito. May isang hormone, for instance, nitric oxide. Nagbabind siya sa loob. Sa loob. Okay? Yan. Kasi may soluble form itong guanylyl cyclase. Isang membrane bound, nasa cell membrane lang, then yung isa nasa loob ng cell. So this is a group 2 hormone that can sit inside the receptor. Or in the receptor found inside the cell. Okay? Ganun lang siya. Atrial natriuretic peptide uses cyclic GMP. Nasaan yung upuan niya? Yung upuan niya nasa cell membrane lang. Okay? Yung isa naman na nasa loob, target ng mga drugs na yan, along with nitric oxide na hormone mo. Soluble guanylyl cyclase yung tawag doon. Okay? What else? Tandaan niya yan. Lalabas sa pharma. Sildenafil will inhibit phosphodiesterase para mahaba buhay ng cyclic GMP mo. Yan. Wala lang. Pag mataas to, vasodilated ka. Titiglunok to. TL transfer. Titiglunok. Okay. Know the mechanisms of the following, ha? Paano siya magbabasodilate? Yan. Pag nag-vasodilate kasi, kunyari, nag-vasodilate itong mga vessels mo sa penis, tataas yung blood flow, mag-e-erection. Okay, mag-e-erection. Yun lang naman. So, yan. Mechanism ng nitric oxide. Bakit vasodilatory siya? Nitric oxide, babind sa soluble guanylate cyclase. Magluluto ngayon ng cyclic GMP yung guanylate cyclase na yan. Then, yung fission na yung bahala nyo dyan. Hanggang mag-relax yung smooth muscle. Leading to vasodilation. Correct. Pag calcium kasi contraction yan. These are the hormones, konti lang, that utilize cyclic GMP as second messenger. Tandaan nyo na. Bad grandpa. Lalabas ko yun sa exam eh. Brain natriuretic peptide, atrial natriuretic peptide, and endothelium-derived relaxing factor. Also known as nitric oxide. Eto, hindi ito Viagra ha. May pinipindot siya doon, no? Para tumigas. May device. Na kailangan mo. Charot. Joke lang. G-proteins and phosphodiesterase. Then, phosphodiesterase will cleave your second messenger. Okay? Yun lang. Usually, mga hypothalamic hormones mo, mga goat hag, usually in a nutshell, they utilize IP3 DAG system. Okay? Pag galing sa hypothalamus. Mga RH, TRH, GnRH. Yeah. Ito pa. Diba? Gawa ni hypothalamus yan. Cyclic GMP is utilized by the following. Konti lang, memorize mo na. Then, yung mga nasa loob yung receptors, pag-usapan na natin yan, si DATs, vitamin D, retinoic, thyroid, steroid-based hormone. Mga pampagrow will utilize tyrosine kinase receptor. Again, binds the hormone, G-alpha lipid. It can lead to various things. No? Pwedeng luto ng second messenger, etc. etc. Open and close ang channel. Depende kung anong channel na bumukas, madedepolarize or hyperpolarize ka. Sige, aba. Now, you have your GQ. Diba? GQ, QC. Pag GQ yung na-activate, phospholipase C ang tatapikin. Okay? Kanina si G-alpha, tatapikin niya si adenylyl cyclase. Ito, pag GQ ang na-activate, phospholipase C ang effector. Now, phospholipase C will cleave this one, pak. Yung nananahimik na phospholipid mo sa cell membrane, it will be broken down into DAG and IP3. IP3, may number, may numero din yung papakialaman niya. It will lead to increase in calcium concentration inside the cell. Kakausapin niya si sarcoplasmic reticulum, uy, kailangan ko ng calcium 2+ dito. Whereas DAG will activate protein kinase C. Okay? Diba? GQ, phospholipase C, IP3, DAG, protein kinase C, and sequence. Alamin niyo yung sequence. Next. Ano ba? Calcium. Lalang. Important yan for contraction. Okay? Alamin nyo kung sinong second messenger na iiwan sa cell membrane. That's DAG. Sino nagpapataas ng calcium sa cytosol? That's your IP3. Okay? Ayan. So, yung nag-activate yung protein kinase C, si DAG pa rin. So, lang tagal nito ah. So, their hormone will sit in the chair. Pak. Kung GQ ang ma-activate, G-alpha naman. Anyway, GQ yan, phospholipase C will be activated. Yung nananahimik na phospholipid will be broken down into IP3 and DAG. Afterwards, ang tagal. DAG will activate protein kinase C, IP3 naman for calcium. Kakusapin niya si SR, labas mo na yung calcium mo dyan for contraction. Among others. Okay? You also need calcium here for activation of protein kinase C. Indirectly nga lang. All hypothalamic hormones will utilize IP3 and DAG system except yung lola ni cortisol. Corticotropin releasing hormone. This one will utilize CAMP. Lalabas sa exam. Anyway. Calmodulin. Calmodulin is always associated with muscle and movement. Pag calcium tumaas, for contraction. Okay? Cyclic GMP, relaxation. Catalytic receptors. So, mag-title break. Wala bang video dito? Anyway, sige. Catalytic receptors, again, usapan, di ba? Chair, upuan sila. Itong chair na to, pag inupuan ng hormone, may makakatalyze na reaction. Okay? Yung ibig sabihin ng catalytic receptor. Parang massage chair. Pag umupo ka, bigla kang pinukpok o minasahe. Ayan, catalytic receptor. TL, titiglunok. So again, these are chairs. Kapag inupuan ni hormone, when the ligand or hormone binds there, sits there, there will be a catalytic reaction, the name itself. Yeah. Huh? These are utilized by hormones sa pampagrow. Insulin, di ba? Pampagrow ang insulin eh. Lalaki glycogen mo, protein mo, taba mo, ano pa? Yung mga growth factor na yan. We utilize this receptor, this type of receptor. So, ganun siya. The hormone will sit here. And then, since catalytic receptor yan, ano mangyayari? May catalysis na mangyayari. Pupukpukin niya yung sarili niya. Phosphorylate niya yan. Then, may mga maiinggit. Magpapaphosphorylate din hanggang masunod yung gusto niya. Usually, mga hormones for growth control, differentiation, and inflammatory response. Yung gumagamit niyan. Meron silang intrinsic tyrosine kinase activity. Glucose in the blood, insulin will be secreted by your beta islet cells, and insulin will do everything to let it in. Okay? Glucose should come inside the cell. Come inside. Anyway, pagpasok sa cell, bakit kailangan papasukin? Because your glycolysis occurs here. Okay? Sa cytosol, di ba? Pagpasok sa cell, ayun na. But hindi lang naman glucose pinapapasok niya, ha? It's actually GAC, glucose, amino acid, and potassium. So you can give insulin sa mga may hyperkalemia. Potassium papasok. Wala na potassium sa blood mo. May effect sa insulin. Insulin is anabolic. Okay, pang build. Build ng glycogen, protein, and lipids. Okay. The thing is, ganyan ba kadali si insulin? Kita niyo yung kidlat na yon? Maraming ganap para lang masunod ang gusto ni insulin. Okay? Kita mo yung kidlat. Translocation of GLUT4. So, ang prerequisite, di ba? You have to have your hormone, and then you have to sit in the receptor. Kung hormone ka, upo ka sa receptor mo, then dapat yung mga alipores mo dito, sumusunod. Okay? Okay sila para ma-translocate yung kung anumang bagay na gusto mong mangyari. If insulin works, successfully works, glucose will come inside the cell. Okay? And it's not just glucose, amino acid din and potassium. Anong gagawin doon sa mga yun? Pag nasa loob na ng fat, heart, and skeletal muscle, edi burn mo. It's either you burn it or you store it in the form of glycogen. Pa. Yung amino acid na pumasok, convert mo sa protein. Yan. Insulin is anabolic, so magpaluto ka ng lipogenesis enzymes. Okay? So medyo matagal to. So may genomic and non-genomic effects ang insulin, ha? Non-genomic, di niya pinapakailaman yung genome, yung genes mo. Ito yun. Mga nakatagong GLUT4, ilalabas lang, ito-translocate. Pero kapag kinausap mo na si Lola DNA, paluto naman ng mga ganito. Genomic yun. Okay? Genomic. So, ayan, lalaki ka. Okay? Lalaki lahat. Glycogen, protein, lipids. It's anabolic. Insulin is a hormone secreted by beta islet cell of the pancreas. Upo siya sa receptor. Ang tanong, ano yung tsura ng receptor nito? It's a tetramer made up of alpha-alpha, beta-beta. Okay? Alpha-alpha, beta-beta. Dalawang alpha outside where insulin can sit there. Okay? Alpha outside. Then, pag umupo si insulin, ano mangyayari? Ma-activate yung beta subunit, ipo-phosphorylate na yung sarili nila. Catalytic eh. So, may naganap na reaction. Enzymatic reaction. Phosphorylate. Then, may inggit yung certain molecules such as IRS1, magpapa-phosphorylate din. Okay? Ganun siya. Ano pa? Recall the concept of your upregulation and downregulation of receptors. Pag marami kang insulin, tulad sa PCOS, obesity, dami mong insulin, di ba? Because glucose is always in the blood. Ano mangyayari sa receptors mo? Kunyari, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 yung pintuan, 5 yung nakabantay. Anong sabihin ng cell? Anong sabihin ng cell? Ang dami namang insulin. Kahit isang pintuan na lang buksan natin. Mag-downregulate na lang tayo. O, isa na lang yung receptor. Yan. So, may downregulation na gaganap if you have high levels of hormones. Ha? Ganun yun. Otherwise, kapag ang dami mong, kunyari, SM, 3 entrance doon, 3 yung pintuan. Pag binuksan mo lahat yon, tas maraming tao sa labas, binuksan mo lahat, babahain ka sa loob. Anyway, so i-down-regulate mo. 1 million yung tao sa labas, edi 1 million yung insulin. Isa lang buksan natin para hindi tayo ma-overwhelm. And down-regulation. Pag ginuto mo yung sarili mo, niya, starvation ka, sandiyan na naman si insulin. Konti na lang. Ano sasabihin ng cell? Wala ba talagang insulin? Hindi lang natin nakakatch. Tara, let's upregulate. Damihan natin yung mga doors na open para pag andyan na siya, makatch natin. More chances of winning or catching the hormone. So, starvation can contribute to upregulation of receptors. Wala lang. So, the number of insulin receptor is increased in starvation and decreased in obesity and type 2 DM. Ito, intrinsic tyrosine kinase na knockout ng certain stuff or virus, that's your beta subunit. Tinanong kita sa exam, a virus knocked out the part of the insulin receptor and it led to insulin's inability to bind to the receptor. Anong subunit ng na-mutate or nagka-problem? It's alpha. Okay? Kasi dyan siya magbabind. Okay. So this is the insulin, PGF and IGF-1 receptor pathway. The receptor nila may intrinsic protein tyrosine kinase activities located in their cytosol. Okay, cytosolic domain. These activities are stimulated when their ligands bind to cognate receptor. The receptors are then autophosphorylated in tyrosine residues. Tyrosine letter Y yan eh, amino acid. And this phosphorylation initiates a complex series of events. The phosphorylated insulin receptor next phosphorylates IRS, iris, insulin receptor substrate, iris muna. May at least 4 yan, iris 1 to 4 on tyrosine residues. Pag napukpok mo na si iris, phosphorylated iris binds to Src homology 2, SH2 domains of a variety of proteins that are directly involved in mediating effects of insulin. One of these is PI3 kinase, which links insulin receptor activation to insulin action through activation of a number of molecules, including PDK1 or phosphoinositide-dependent kinase 1. This enzyme propagates a signal through several other kinases, including PKB, also known as AKT, SKG, and APKC. An alternative pathway downstream from PDK1 involves P70S6K. Mamaya na yan. Panoorin to. This will last for 4 minutes. Sige. So, alam na si insulin. If glucose is in the blood, pancreas will secrete insulin. Insulin will do everything to let glucose come inside the cell. Okay? Ang tanong paano? So, you watch this.
Here, we will illustrate the signaling pathway that occurs when glucose is at high levels. This pathway involves multiple proteins and signaling events. This is termed cytoplasmic signaling. Different types of cells perform similar signaling steps in response to changes in their environment. In the protein recycling animation, we see a group of storage vesicles enriched with GLUT4 proteins continuously recycling from the cell membrane to an inactive location in the cytosol. GLUT4 is a protein that facilitates the movement of glucose into the cell. When high levels of glucose are detected by beta cells in the pancreas, insulin is released by the cells. The insulin circulates through the bloodstream until it binds to an insulin receptor embedded in the cell membrane of a muscle, fat, or brain cell. Once the insulin binds to the receptor, phosphate groups are added to the intracellular domain of the receptor. Since the receptor itself adds the phosphate groups, the process is called autophosphorylation. This phosphorylation event sets off a cascade of molecular events. The activated receptor protein then adds a phosphate group to another closely associated protein. This effectively passes the signal from the receptor to the next step in the signal pathway. Proteins that add phosphate groups to another protein are called kinases. Kinases are often components of signal pathways, and phosphorylation is an important component in the transmission of a signal from one compartment to another. In this system, the signal corresponds to the level of blood glucose and is transmitted from outside to inside the cell. Next, we see a large pool of molecules that are embedded in the membrane, also being phosphorylated. Other proteins are then in turn phosphorylated, further transmitting the first extracellular signal that was originally sent from outside the cell membrane. So how does this affect the uptake of glucose? As we mentioned before, GLUT4 is a glucose transporter, and GLUT4 storage vesicles are held in a recycling state near the cell membrane. The vesicles are held mostly in this region because the Rab proteins that interact with the motor proteins necessary to move the vesicles to the membrane are in an inactive state. The final step in this signal pathway involves the phosphorylation of a protein that prevents the Rab proteins from interacting with the vesicles. When the Rab proteins are no longer inhibited, the storage vesicles can freely merge with the membrane. Once the vesicles have merged, many GLUT4 proteins are embedded in the membrane, and large quantities of glucose can move into the cell. It is the signaling pathway that ensures only the correct molecules will be allowed to enter the target cell.
Kita nyo? Series of, ano yun? Series of pukpukan. Si insulin, series of pukpukan. Kayo, series of joke lang, pukpukan. Insulin signaling. O, basahin nyo na lang yan eh. Haba eh. Papasequence ko yan sa exam nyo. Kung sa'yo matapat to, recite. Yang buong yan, i-recite mo. Paragraph. Okay? So, ito yung complex series of events. SOS stands for son of 7 less. RAF is also known as MAPKKK. Protein kinase. Lahat ng yon para masunod ang gusto ni insulin. Okay? Kunento ko na ba? Diba? So, again, insulin bind in the alpha subunit. Then, mag-phosphorylate si beta. Magpapapukpok na rin si iris. Si iris, bubukpukin o magpa-phosphorylate din ng mga molecules na to. Pag GRB2, SOS, ito yung masusunod or magagawa. Pag PI3 kinase, itong mga to. Okay? 4 minutes na naman. So, this is your alpha, beta subunit. Ito maganda to. Teka.
Into the cell through membrane, and to it we have extracellular alpha subunit bind as shown in the diagram, and we also have PIP2 molecule bound to the cell membrane as shown in the diagram. Now to start a pathway, we have insulin molecules present outside of the cell. The insulin molecules comes in and binds on the alpha subunit of receptor as shown in the animation. This ligand binding or the insulin binding drives the dimerization of insulin receptor as shown in the diagram. And from this dimerization, we get the intracellular cross-phosphorylation of tyrosine domains on beta subunit of receptor. Now from here, the downstream molecules are recruited and activated. First of all, the IRS molecule comes in and binds with the activated receptor as shown in the diagram. Then this activated IRS molecule recruits and activates the P85 subunit of PI3 kinase, which in turn recruits the P110 subunit of PI3 kinase, that is catalytic unit of PI3 kinase. So we have now fully activated PI3 kinase, and this activated PI3 kinase acts on PIP2 and converts it into PIP3 as shown in the animation. And furthermore, this PIP3 activates the membrane-bound PDK1 molecule and other kinases. Now from here we have the inactive PKB or AKT molecule. So in order to activate the PKB molecule, it's first recruited towards the plasma membrane, and here it's acted upon by PDK1 molecule, and this PDK1 molecule phosphorylates the AKT threonine residue at 308, which partially activates the AKT protein. Then we also have the PDK2 molecule which phosphorylates AKT at serine 473 residue that completely activates the AKT protein. Now let's keep the activated AKT protein here for some time. On the other hand, we have the GLUT4 vesicle, which needs to be translocated to the plasma membrane for fusion. But its translocation is inhibited by AS160 protein. It inhibits the translocation of GLUT4 vesicle towards the plasma membrane.
Yan yung RAB.
But once we have AKT activated via insulin pathway, the AKT phosphorylates the AS160 at threonine 642 and serine 588, thereby inhibiting its activity. So when AS160 is inhibited, the GLUT4 vesicle is easily translocated to the plasma membrane for fusion, and we get the GLUT4 channels in the plasma membrane as shown in the diagram. And these channels will then uptake the glucose molecules from blood, thereby decreasing the blood glucose levels. On the other hand, we have the GSK3 molecule. It inhibits the glycogen synthesis. So we need to inhibit this GSK3 molecule so that glycogen synthesis will go on. And here it's done by the AKT molecule also. The AKT molecule inhibits the GSK3 molecule, thus driving the glycogen synthesis again. Furthermore, we see the AKT also activates the mTORC1 protein, which inhibits the IRS protein in a negative feedback loop. So in a nutshell, we see the insulin pathway mediates the uptake of glucose from blood via GLUT4 channels and also ramps up the glycogen synthesis within the cell. So this is all about the insulin signaling pathway. I hope you liked the video. In the previous video, we discussed about the diabetes mellitus and its types.
And ulit lang. Anyway, so yun yung complex series of events. Tandaan sino yung phosphorylate. Okay, circumhomology 2, yung SH2 domains. These are protein found in many proteins involving tyrosine kinase signaling cascade. Their function is to bind tyrosine phosphorylated sequences in specific protein targets. Ganun na nga. Ito ba? Si mTOR. Bagit ko na ba si mTOR? Di pa. Yan yung tawag dito, na negative feedback. Anyway. Yun yung second major pathway, mTOR. This enzyme is directly regulated by amino acid levels and insulin and is essential for P70S6K activity. The mTOR signaling system provides a distinction between PKB and P70S6K branches downstream from PKD1. Ayan lang, depende kung anong mapukpok, ma-phosphorylate, masusunod yung mga gusto ni insulin. If you wanna talk to your lola, dito ka, kay GRB2 ka. If gusto mo naman si GLUT4, dito ka sa pathway ng mga PDK. Yun lang. So, all of those will lead to GLUT translocation, enzyme activation. Anong enzyme i-activate niya? Glycolytic enzyme, glycogenesis enzyme, lipid synthesis enzyme. Okay? So, ayan siya. Insulin will bind or sit in the alpha subunit of the receptor. Beta subunit gets auto-phosphorylated. IRS mainggit, magpapaphosphorylate din, etc. etc. Okay? Then, some kinase magpapaphosphorylate din. Since it's a kinase, it will phosphorylate certain molecules. And nakita nyo na to sa video, PIP2 will be broken down into PIP3, etc. etc. Okay? Hanggang matranslocate si GLUT4. Tapos may inhibitory kanina. Diba? May inhibitory kanina. Alamin nyo kung sino yun. In-inhibit niya yung inhibitory. Okay? Ayan o, si PDK1, anong ginawa? In-inhibit si GSK3. Inhibitory kay glycogen synthase. So, ayan. PDK1, AKT, in-inhibit si GSK3. Na, ito kasi, masama. No? Binablock niya si glycogenesis. Eh, kung i-inhibit natin yan, di tuloy to. Tuloy ang glycogen synthesis mo. Wala lang, pinakita lang yung various ways. mTOR, related siya kay P70S6K. Nagpo-provide ng distinction. And the negative feedback. Yun lang. Isipa ko, yung kasama ko sa recipe. So, ito yung pinagsasabi kanina. TL, titiglunok. All of which, para masunod yung gusto ni insulin. Otherwise, if you don't have insulin, type 1 DM. If the receptor is mutated, type 2 DM. Marami pang types ng DM, ha? May MODI pa nga eh. Dapat, ang point nito is yung downstream molecules mo, dapat nag-work din. Okay? So, what's your answer here? PCOS. Bakit uubra ang ketogenic diet? Kasi it will lower the production of blank. Best guess? Best guess. PCOS. Mataas yung insulin dyan, di ba? Glucose in the blood, pancreas will secrete insulin. May hyperinsulinemia sila. O bakit kakakain na lang ng mga fat instead ng mga carbs? Kasi kapag fat instead na carbs, wala ka masyadong carbs, hindi magsisikit ng insulin. Okay? hindi ka lalaki. I-lower lang insulin mo. So, yun yung possible explanation. Bakit medyo beneficial ang ketogenic diet sa may PCOS. Next, JAK-STAT. Si JAK. JAK-STAT pathway. Enzyme link receptor rin ito. Utilized by various substances. For instance, si growth hormone, EPO, mga pampalaki. Yan. May phosphorylation din na magaganap. JAK stands for Janus kinase. Tatanong ko yan. STAT stands for signal transducer and activator of transcription. Mga pampagrow, growth hormone, erythropoietin, will utilize JAK-STAT. Okay? Underline, non-covalent association. So, si hormone, umupo sa upuan, sa receptor, it will lead to non-covalent association with JAK. Hindi kinasal si JAK dyan. Okay? Ano pa? Leptin, hormone pang stop ng lafang, will also utilize this type of receptor or pathway. Cytokines, ganun din. So, upo si cytokine dyan, then magda-dimerize, mapophosphorylate. Itong JAK na to, non-covalent ang interaction. Hindi sila, walang covalent bond dyan. So, JAK. Then, maingat si STAT, magpapapukpok din, kami rin, paphosphorylate din. Magda-dimerize si STAT, then tara, let's go to the nucleus, paluto tayo ng gusto nating protein. Okay? So again, this is utilized by cytokines. So yan yung receptor mo. If cytokine is present, tagal, it will sit in the receptor. Kita mo yung JAK doon, hindi siya nakabond, MU lang. Afterwards, unlike yung kay insulin na talagang ang may beta subunit siya na naka-bond. So, ma-phosphorylate na naman yung residues ng receptor mo, tyrosine residues. Then, mainggit si STAT, JAK kinase, diba? So, nang-phosphorylate. Mainggit si STAT, then magda-dimerize siya. Magpa-phosphorylate din si STAT, then dimerize, then tara, let's kausapin na natin si Lola. Magpaluto ng mga gusto ng cytokine na yan. Fever, etc. So, growth hormone, pampalaki mo, pampalaki ng mimi mo, dugo mo, and pang-move ng mga cells, cytokines. Okay? Cytokines are small proteins that are crucial in controlling the growth and activity of other immune cells and blood cells. Tandaan, they all utilize JAK-STAT pathway. Okay? So, upo si hormone or cytokine, mapophosphorylate si receptor, didikit ang STAT, mapophosphorylate na naman si STAT, then wait for STAT to dimerize before traveling to the nucleus. Then upo ka na naman sa response element mo. Okay? If you mess up with this one, magkaka-problem. Maraming problem. Autoimmune, cancer, etc. etc. Kita nyo na yan, JAK-STAT pathway. Upo si cytokine, ulit-ulit na to mag-MU si JAK. Ipo-phosphorylate na yun si receptor. Pak. Mainggit si STAT, pa-phosphorylate rin kami. Pak. Then tara, let's dimerize and then let's go to the nucleus sa response element natin. Then paluto ka na kung anong gusto mo. Okay? If you mess with that, pwede mag-start ng tumorigenesis. Yan sa tumors.
Several mechanisms lead to overactivation of the JAK-STAT pathway. In many carcinomas, the pathway is overactivated by the overexpression of cytokine receptors. In some types of leukemia, such as CML, the pathway is overactivated by the overexpression of STATs. STATs can also be phosphorylated by oncogenic kinases that are not members of the JAK-STAT pathway. In tumors of the head and neck, for example, the pathway is activated after phosphorylation of STATs by the EGF receptor. In melanomas, the pathway is activated after phosphorylation of STATs by SRC.
Okay, so ginagamit sila doon, ha? Mga evil stuff. Pag masyadong dami mong stat. Interleukin-1, this is a cytokine secreted by monocyte, macrophages, can cause fever and acute inflammation. Mamaga ka. So you can give a drug that will block interleukin-1 or block the chair of interleukin-1. And that the chair is JAK-STAT, no? JAK-STAT yung receptor. Yung mechanism niya. What else? So yung mechanism ng certain drugs, for instance, si anakinra. Oh. Again, interleukin-1 is an inflammatory cytokine. It will play an important role in certain diseases. Okay? Sinisecrete ng macrophages. It regulates cell-mediated and humoral immunity by activating lymphocytes, etc., etc. Associated siya with infection and inflammation. Kasi interleukin-1 beta. Umuupo siya sa receptor niya. So you can give a drug that will block the chair or the receptor. So you can give interleukin-1 receptor antagonist, for instance, si anakinra, so that your interleukin can no longer sit there. So wala kang inflammation. Binibigay lang yan pag sobrang lala ng inflammation ng patient. Rheumatoid arthritis na severe, etc. Or it's either you block the chair or you momol the hormone, the cytokine, block the interleukin-1, such as the following drugs. No? Okay. So, yung synthetic form. Anakinra, brand name, Kineret, Kinemeru. Nagamit sa, DMARDs yan, immunomodulator, for rheumatoid arthritis, sa mga cryoprine-associated pediatric syndromes, or kapag kulang ka sa, interleukin-1 receptor antagonist, bronchiolitis obliterans, pero orphan drug pa lang siya dyan. Take note of anakinra, ha? It will block interleukin-1 receptor. Okay? Gumagamit ng JAK-STAT pathway. Yan siya. Ini-inject yan. Anyway. SH2, di ko tatanungin. Then you also have another type of receptor. You call it your serine threonine receptor kinase. Si TGF-beta will utilize this chair, will sit in this chair. So, serine threonine receptor nga siya. And then, it will have downstream sequence of events na naman hanggang mag-fibrose yung sugat mo. It's for wound healing, TGF-beta. For wound healing, mediator siya ng angiogenesis and fibrosis. However, if excessive, upo siya na upo sa receptor niya, it can give you hypertrophic and keloid scar. Okay? Aberrant scarring. Tandaan lang, TGF-beta sits in this type of chair. Okay? Serine threonine receptor kinase. Ano pa? So, serine threonine kinase, TGF-beta. And ito, inflamed ang mukha after mag-snap. So, talk about your glucocorticoids again. Okay, you have your NF-κB, nuclear factor kappa, light chain enhancer of activated B cells. Ibig sabihin yan, NF-κB. It's a family of highly conserved transcription factors that regulate many important cellular behaviors, particularly in inflammatory responses, cellular growth, and apoptosis. Okay. Nuclear factor kappa B is an ancient protein transcription factor na important nga sa innate immunity. It links pathogenic signals and other cellular danger signals, thus organizing cellular resistance to invading pathogens. Ang inflammation, di naman masama. Warning yan sa body mo na, oy, may something. Imagine mo pag wala kang inflammation, di mo alam, may bacteria ka na o may something na sa loob. So, important din yun. Ang problem lang, pag sobrang OA ng pamamaga mo, ng inflammation mo. Okay? Si NF-κB, pro-maga. Okay? Pro-maga. Pag umariba yan, mamaga ka. And this pathway, NF-κB pathway, is regulated by glucocorticoids. Okay. Basahin ko lang konti ito. So, yung iba gusto English eh. The DNA binding transcription factor, NF-κB, si NF-κB. Ito siya. It's a heterodimeric complex typically composed of 2 subunits. Ito si NF-κB, yung green na may yellow. Okay? Ito yung 2 subunits niya for a while. Okay, so ito si NF-κB. Nakasequester siya sa cytosol in a transcriptionally inactive form by members of the ICB. Ayan o, si ICB. Binaliktad mo, BIC. Parang yung classmate mo. Biik is suckling, di ba, in English. Yung ginagawang conchinilio. Anyway. So, ito si NFKB. Nakapadlock siya sa cytosol using ICB. ICB stands for inhibitor of NFKB. Now, if may signals sa labas, extracellular stimulus such as pro-inflammatory cytokines, reactive oxygen species, mitogens, when you say mitogens, it stimulate ng mitosis, they will all lead to activation of IC-IC. IC-IC stands for ICB kinase. Okay? ICB kinase. This IC-IC is a heterohexameric 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 siya. 6 in 1, consisting of alpha, beta, and gamma subunits. Ang trabaho ni IC-IC, i-phosphorylate si ICB. Susuntukin niya yung padlock para ma-release mo si NFKB. Okay? Phosphorylate niya sa serine residues. Tatanong ko to sa res. This phosphorylation targets ICB for polyubiquitination or polyubiquitination and subsequent degradation of proteasome. Yung padlock, phosphorilate, then dinegrade. Ngayon, free na si NFKB, punta ka na sa kay Lola. Then budbura mo ng co-activators para mabilis mong transcription. Following ICB degradation, the free NFKB translocates to the nucleus where it binds to a number of gene enhancers and activates transcription, particularly of genes involved in inflammatory response. Transcriptional regulation of by NFKB is mediated by a variety of co-activators such as CREB binding protein. Tandaan mo si CREB binding protein. Co-activator siya. Walang naintindihan, Dok. Ulit. Si NFKB pro-maga. Okay? Nakapadlock siya sa cytosol para hindi ka lagi namamaga. Ang padlock, kumulong sa'yo sa cytosol ay si ICB. Si ICB. Now, kapag may signal sa labas, oy, may bacteria dito, may virus, may ROS, kailangan mo i-signal si cell na, huy, kailangan mo mamaga. Okay? So, gagawin ni IC-IC, ina-knock out niya si ICB. Binuksan ang padlock. Okay? Phosphorilate niya si ICB. Now, if ICB is phosphorylated, degraded na yan. I-degrade pa yan sa proteasome. Okay? Alamin mo ano ang role ni IC-IC at ni ICB. Si BIC, si ICB, taga-padlock dito. Si IC-IC, taga-suntok kay ICB, taga-phosphorylate kay ICB. Pag na-phosphorylate si ICB, ubiquitinate yan, then paper shredder. Kapag wala na si ICB, free na si NFKB. Lipad ka na sa DNA, papuntang DNA. Then wait for the co-activators such as CREB para bumilis ang transcription. Okay? Ganun lang siya. Pag umariba si NFKB, nag-work na siya, natuloy lahat yan, no? Na-phosphorylate si ICB, na-free up si NFKB, may co-activators, di may pamamaga ka. Okay? For instance, yan, dactylitis, it's a type of inflammation ng fingers or toes. So may swelling in one or more digits. Okay? Maga ang finger. Joke lang. Kaka-finger. Hindi, kaka-manicure. Okay? Sa manicure, tinatanggal nyo yung cuticle. You know? Yung eponychium. It's an extension of your stratum corneum sa proximal nail fold. It forms a seal that prevents allergens, irritants, and pathogens from entering the potential space between the distal skin of the digit and the nail plate. Pag tinanggal mo yung cuticle, o dire-diretso na kung anumang dumi ang nandyan. Tapos pag pumasok pa yun sa capillaries mo, good luck. No? Tapos nagpa-manicure ka sa whatever. So wherever. Kunyari, ang previous client may HEPA, may HIV, at hepatitis. Anong nangyari sa'yo? Tapos ikaw yung next. Kunyari, kinutkot to yung previous client, dumugo. Diba? Tapos ginamit sa'yo yung whatever stuff, metallic stuff. Tapos dumugo rin. O, di good luck. Yung mga blood-borne viruses dyan. Napasa na sa'yo. So it's either, parang palinis ang kuko, matatanggal yung cuticle masyado. Ano pa? Dala ka sarili mong gamit or make sure nag-sterilize sila. NFKB is mediated by a variety of co-activators such as CREB binding protein. Diba? Ito, hindi enough na si NFKB umupo na sa DNA. Kailangan budburan mo ng co-activator. Okay? Si IC-IC ang nang phosphorylate kay ICB. Okay? Ano pa? Yun lang naman. Glucocorticoids, may tatlong mechanism yan. Bakit di ka mamamaga? Anti-inflammatory sila, di ba? Hindi lang naman glucocorticoids yung anti-inflammatory. Meron ding non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, yung NSAIDs mo. Anyway, so NFKB, pro-maga, glucocorticoids, anti-maga. Okay, anti-NFKB yan. Kakampihan niya therefore si ICB para walang ik-ik. So, ang job ni glucocorticoid, itong tatlo, paramihin si ICB para nakapadlock ka lang dyan. Ano pa? Kung sakaling natuloy si NFKB, pumunta kay DNA, i-compete ko si co-activator na knockout ko yan. Tanong sa receipt to. And then, ano pa? Pwedeng i-knockout ni glucocorticoid si P65 ng NFKB. Okay? Yung tatlong mechanisms na yun. Glucocorticoid, increase ICB mRNA para may padlock ka dyan, hindi ka mamamaga. Ano pa? Makasequester si NFKB dyan sa cytosol lang. Glucocorticoid receptor competes with NFKB for binding to co-activators. Wala si best friend. Or the glucocorticoid receptor directly binds to the P65 subunit of NFKB para hindi niya makausap si Lola. Okay. Oh, 1 minute lang to. So, ako mag-annotate. Walang boses. Anyway. So, ayan na siya. Stimulus. Kailangan mo mawaga. Ano mangyari? Si Ik-Ik. Susuntukin si ICB. So, na-phosphorylate si ICB. NFKB mo. Kapag na-phosphorylate mo si ICB, matatag siya ng ubiquitin. At least 4 molecules. NFKB mo, bakante na, free na to go to Lola. Whereas, yung ICB mo, papadala kay proteasome. Degrade. Si NFKB mo, nakaligtas na, pumunta kay Lola. Then you just wait for the co-activators there. Co-activators, then maluto na kung ano gusto mong pro-maga stuff. Okay? Some drugs can block proteasome. Okay? For instance, bortezomib for multiple myeloma and mantle cell lymphoma. Iba-block ni bortezomib ang proteasome so that hindi madedegrade si ICB. O, pag hindi na-degrade si ICB, may padlock ka pa rin. Okay? Hindi makapunta si NFKB kay Lola. Yan. Alam niyo yung kwento, ha? Okay, so bortezomib is type of target cancer drug called proteasome inhibitor. Lumabas sa boards dati, biochem part. Colchicine ba yun? Or colchicine, methotrexate. Yan. Natanong na nila dati. Anong mechanism daw? Sa biochem part tinanong, ha? Ito si bortezomib, proteasome inhibitor. Vinca alkaloids, I think natanong din. Something sa microtubule. Yan, tinanong nila. Yun lang. So, we talked about anakinra, interleukin receptor antagonist siya. Sino isa? Bortezomib, proteasome inhibitor naman. Okay? Ito lang kailangan nyo dyan. Ano pa? O tapos, have 2 minutes na lang. Hormones can influence specific biologic effects by modulating transcription. Pwedeng pabilisin or pwedeng pabagalin. Ha? Yan lang naman. So these are the hormone response elements na napag-usapan na natin kanina. So the vast majority of cellular genes, the HRE is found associated with other specific regulatory DNA elements. Ano yan? Kung glucocorticoid ka, saan ka upo kay Lola? Dito sa glucocorticoid response element. Okay? Kung progesterone, edi sa response element for you. Kung CAMP ka, edi sa dito sa CRE, response element ng CAMP. Okay na ba yun? Hormone, umupo sa receptor, then umupo sa response element. Tapos na. Hindi pa. Kailangan pa ng mga abubot. Mga abubot. Okay? Kala mo HRE, tapos na. May abubot pa. Rekado sa halo-halo. Hindi enough na hormone with receptor lang. Bubudburan mo pa yan ng mga co-regulators to hasten or to slower yung pagluto ng proteins. No? We have here the nuclear receptor super family. Dami nilang members eh, kaya super family. Cytochrome P450 mo, super family din. Last full show tomorrow. Teka lang. Parang movie lang eh, no? Dr. Cuenco showing this week. Live. Anyway. Ubus na yung energy ko. So you have here the receptors, mga chair sa loob ng nucleus. May iba't ibang parts. May DBD, DNA binding domain. Yung upuan mo, may part na didikit sa DNA, ang tawag doon, DBD. Okay? May 2 zinc fingers dyan. Okay? Then you also have, again, DBD can recognize a specific DNA sequence or have general affinity to DNA. Meron ding part ng upuan mo. Anyway, ito muna, nuclear receptor, super family of proteins sila, defined by DNA binding domain and a ligand binding domain. They function as transcriptional regulators to control expression of genes involved in development, homeostasis, and metabolism. Mga proteins, mga upuan to, na isang part nila dumidikit sa DNA, yung isang part dumidikit sa hormone or sa ligand. Okay? Kunyari, ito yung upuan mo. Anong part to dumikit sa DNA? DBD, DNA binding. Anong part to dumikit sa ligand or hormone? LBD. Yun lang. Okay? Tatanong ko sa recit nyo, paano umupo sa ganyang chair? Dapat ba nakasupine, naka-prone, or nakatuwad? Joke lang. Anyway, so these are the parts of your receptors or the chairs. Ha? May DBD, may LBD, etc. When you say response element, it's a portion of gene which must be present in order for that gene to respond to some hormone or other stimulus. Ayan. Parts ng chair nga. LBD, ligand binding domain, malapit sa C-terminal, malapit sa AF2, also known as activation function 2 or activation domain. Okay? Dito didikit yung hormone mo, ligand binding. Okay? Ang ligand mo in this case is yung hormone. Ano pa? May hinge region in between DBD and LBD. Hinge, parang sa pintuan mo. Highly variable hinge region separates DBD from LBD. Okay? Ano pa? May AF1 near the amino terminal. Ang AF2 malapit sa carboxy terminal. May terminal. Proteins to eh. Okay? Proteins yung mga yan. Another group of orphan receptors. When you say orphan receptors, upuan na hindi mo pa alam sino uupo. Okay? So, chair sila, receptor sila na hindi mo pa alam sino ligand. Okay? They have no known ligand and will bind as homodimers or monomers to direct repeat sequences. Yan. So, dahil dito sa nuclear receptors and ligands, naaral yung mga xenobiotics and other metabolites. Tapos, hindi enough na umupo ka doon, kailangan mo ng papabilis. Okay? So, you have to have your co-regulators to participate in regulating transcription. Take note lang yung mga co-regulators natin, ha? CBP, P300. Co-repressor, pampabagal, NCOR, and SMRT. Okay? Yun lang. The blank serves as the initial signal, ligand receptor. Class blank ang nagbabind sa labas. Class 2. Blank receptors may have hormones metabolized or drugs, DNA binding nuclear receptors. Another super family of blank co-regulator. Sorry, large family of co-regulator proteins or model chromatin. This is your quiz. Sagutan nyo. And itatanong ko sa receipt next week. Ha? The receptor of PTH, nasaan? Mutation is blah, blah, blah. Next, GRB2. Okay na yan. And of course, this one. Huh? Important, yung mga second messenger and which hormones will utilize such. Okay? Teka lang.